Why did the ancient Egyptians worship cats? Welcome to The Looking Glass. My name is Mary Moses, and I do an ancient art technique known as scrying. Forgive my voice, I have a cold. Today we're going to be presented with some information that may or may not be true, but look at the symbologies and get into sacred symbology and geometry so that you can hear the truth for yourself from your higher self. And look at this piece and see what you see before I painted it. The images can shift and change. So Spirit is showing us symbologies of a cat and a woman in a chariot and some symbols of the god Ar or Ra, Ara, A-R-A. There are symbols of being asleep, flying eggs, stargates, portals, and being assisted after death by an animal, not a human-looking being, either a holy dove, a rabbit, a cat, or even a dog. What I love about doing the looking glass is looking at history from a completely different perspective and really listening to what our higher self is showing us about our past, our DNA, and our original form, which seem to have been cut from us. Let's look at the symbologies within this piece. Let's begin at 1 o'clock. There's a female seated like in a chariot. She has the word A-R-A. Out of her eyes are like whips or lines that form out of her eyes into the one eye of the cat, which also forms an invisible eye. This makes like the Vesica Pisces. The cat has a Vesica Pisces, like a portal, in the center of their head with a human being inside and a snake coming out of their center of their eye. On the center of the chest of the cat is like a stargate and an egg that is flying with wings. Below the stargate is another cat or dog, I'm not sure, maybe a dog like Anubis at 9 o'clock, and below that is a heart. And below the heart is a human being asleep with a heart above their head as if they aren't alive or awake. And then there's another human being asleep. And out of their head is a holy dove, a cat coming out of their head, their third eye, and even a rabbit. So if you would like to learn to do the looking glass, the first thing you would want to do is just allow these images to give you an emotion or a feeling. Write down those emotions, write down those feelings, and try not to label everything from what we've been taught. Notice the human is at 1. The animal is at 11 o'clock. Notice the numerology, but also the geometry. We have the Vesica Pisces, the circle, the heart, and the rabbit ears forming two towers. Notice the opposites, the black color and the white color. Notice the in-between colors, blue and yellow. The movie The Golden Compass reflects human beings who were as one with animals. And we were cut. And these children are in an egg. And in this egg, they were cut from an animal. And every person had a different animal. Some people have the holy dove. Some people have a cat. Some people have a dog. Some people have a lion. Some people have a dragon or a crow. And so when we think of spirit guides or even our higher self, like a golden compass, our higher self teaches us the truth and takes our eyes into their eyes, which is what astral traveling really is. And we're young. We are hatching out of an egg and birthing wings, and this is what is known as being born again, and the holy dove descending upon us and taking back that which was cut from us. Ahuda Mazda has the circle with the wings as well, and this is about ascension and going back to our Adam and Eve, our original form. Now it takes us to Mithra, and Mithra was the original Jesus. Notice that Mithra looks both male and female, and the crown has 7 points. Look familiar to you? The Statue of Liberty looks both male and female with 7 points. Why wouldn't the Statue of Liberty be a statue of Jesus Christ instead of Mithra? Well, we have to understand the origins of where we come from. Here is Mithra, where his animal is being cut from him. Now, the cape wasn't a cape. These were his wings. He was the Adam and the Eve that could fly and could do many things before our DNA was cut. If you look very closely into symbolism, look at the ear of the bull and the horn of the bull. They look like male and female genitalia. So the original vampire was both male and female, androgynous, and they had 2 souls. 1 soul in the human form, 1 soul in an animal form. And they say, drink my blood and live forever, and that's what Jesus says too. So the symbol of the vampire is a symbol of immortality. The Adam and the Eve, before they were cut, were immortal. And we used to live 900 years, and somehow our DNA has been cut and cut and cut until we only live, sometimes some of us only live 50 or 60 years old. That is an infant. We don't have time to learn anything. So notice that the baptism of water is about our holy other self, our higher self, descending upon us in the form of an animal, which is the holy dove. The holy dove, the body of the holy dove looks like a flying egg. And Freya is pulled by a chariot of cats, and this is a reflection of astral travel, telepathy, and our ability to time travel and maybe even shapeshift. Now, let's talk about the god named Ar from Armenia. This was the original god named Ar. He was the sun god, and he is associated with Mithra from Armenia. And Armenia has so much connection to birds and bird people and wings and cats and human beings being as one with animals. But let's look at some secrets I'm finding out. So Osiris's body was cut 14 times. This may be that our DNA was cut 14 times. And 7 for her, 7 for him. This made our world split. So one world is dominated by a patriarch, one by a matriarch. And it can be split into Oz, Iris. Iris is the goddess of the rainbow, and Oz seems to be the wizard, the male energy. But if you take the word Osiris and you turn it around backwards, it spells Sirius. And Sirius B, the dog star, has some connection to the Dogon tribe, who described beings that look like mermaids who came to this realm and are connected to Dagon, the fish god. This is the god that Catholicism kind of reveres. And you got to wonder if the name Mithra is like the myth of Ra, because the real god predates Ra and is the god named Ar from Armenia. So everything is flipped backwards. Osiris is Sirius. Now you got to wonder if our god, who art in heaven, is AR. Probably not. So the story of Harry Potter and Dorothy are the exact same story. They both lived with their aunts and uncles because both their parents died. Both of them have 11 letters in their name. Both of them left at 12 years old. They both left munchkins and muggles. They were both witches and wizards. They both had to overcome the number 7 colors to the rainbow, and the 7 snitches, and even the 7-book series of Harry Potter. And one world dominated by a wicked witch, female, Glinda, and the other dominated by a Dumbledore and a Voldemort. This is male, female. So I believe that the bottom of the page reflects that we were put to sleep through our DNA, through our soul being cut. The Horcrux is a witchcraft act of murdering, munchkin, muggle murderers who cut our soul in order to create a Horcrux for the gods to live forever. And there seems to be a reason why our souls and our memory and our DNA has been cut, and our lives have been so limited, and we have been so removed from truth for so long. So the cat is a reflection of a higher self that was taken from us. And now when we think about eating animals, it seems kind of effed up, doesn't it? But as Jeff Goldblum once said, life will always find a way. So let's find our way back to our original DNA, our original soul, which was both male and female, androgynous, and spirit, the holy dove, the Trinity. Harry Potter, Hermione, and Weasley. Wow. If you have anything to add to these symbolisms, please comment below.